Hey everyone, Grandmaster Ben Finegold here. I haven't made a video of my tournaments in a while because I haven't been playing, and I've made a lot of videos for the Chess Center, which are more professional than my own videos. I'm at home, my chess room, and there's going to be like special effects, and there's an audience, and all that good stuff, but that takes time. So probably in a couple more weeks, we'll have a video up, and then we'll just start putting them up all the time. And when I say we, I mean Karen. She works maybe 8 hours a day doing the video editing software, learning how it works, adding effects, taking them away, etc., making it look good for you guys. So you have to wait, but I mean, there's a million YouTube channels. You can watch chess videos if you have to. You can rewatch mine too. But when the Chess Center videos get up, they'll look much better than these. And I've already made over 20 this month. I mean, since we opened. In fact, at midnight is our 1 month since we opened. Yay. Okay, I'm making a video because I played in a tournament this weekend, the Georgia Open, which, as I recently found out, is not the state championship of Georgia, which confuses me. It's called the Georgia Open, and it's run by the Georgia Chess Association, but that's not their state championship. So it's just a Georgia Chess Association tournament. There were about 74 players, approximately, and it was one section, which is unusual for a tournament. Usually they're in sections. So the top players were me, I'm the highest rated, Alonso Zapata, who's the other grandmaster in Georgia. And then the third highest rated player was Deepak Aaron, who's a senior master. Then there was one other master, Vedic Panda. There was a player from Texas, which I didn't understand. Maybe he's visiting, who I played in round 5. He's 2150. And I think there was one other expert from Tennessee, like a kid. And then it was just low-rated players. So five-way tie for first. I tied with Zapata, the expert from Texas. I think his name is Zichen Liu. And then there were 2 A players who tied for first also. And in the last round, they were paired down because it was a lot of players and only one section. Okay, this is my first game against, is it Monish Jampala? Let's have a look and make sure I got his name right. Monish Jampala, sorry about that. He's 1500, and I played e4 because, if you can't play e4, then, what are you going to do? Okay, and I was going to play the Urisov Gambit, which is one of the most popular, if not the most popular video on the St. Louis YouTube page by Jonathan Schranz. It has, I think, over 600,000 views now, just that one video. And that happens after knight f6, d4. When stronger grandmasters than me have white, they play d3. Okay, so d4, and we started out in the Urisov Gambit, but like most people, he didn't take on e4, which is mainly what the video is about. Knight takes e4, queen takes d4. It's funny, I played the Urisov Gambit before Jonathan Schranz was born, but played mainly in speed chess. Okay, he played knight c6, which transposes into just a normal 2 knights, castles. And here black has 2 main moves, knight takes e4 and bishop c5. I faced them both, even though I play e4 very often. My opponent instantly played bishop c5, and he was a kid, so I was like, okay, he's playing some prep he has. He knows this line. And I know a lot of theory, but probably not as much as a kid. So, of course, the main move is e5, and I've shown this trap before, but where are you guys going to go? This is the main line. Maybe it's been replaced since. And queen takes f6 loses a piece. Well, the computer won't even let me do it because you play queen h5 check and you fork the king and the bishop. Okay, so the main move is queen d5, and I think theory slightly prefers black here. All right. Well, my opponent was playing too quickly, so I figured I had to get at a theory right away. So I played a move I didn't know was theory, but turns out it's fine. I played c3, and it seemed like he was really pissed off when I played it. So we'll say c3 PO. He was PO'd, c3 PO. You didn't see that joke coming because I never made it before. Okay. So there's a couple moves black can play. Knight takes e4 is fine. I think that's the recommended move. He took on c3. And the difference is now when I play this same line with the inclusion of c3 and dc, which is what we did, He doesn't have this monster pawn on d4, which is great. His pawn structure is much worse. And now I can play queen e2 check because I'm not required to, do tricky stuff now because his pawn on d4 is gone. This position's occurred maybe 15, 20 times in my database. It's about equal. Maybe white's a little better. Maybe. And he played a move I didn't consider, which has never been played before, king f8. I mean, bishop e6 is perfectly fine. And I just took all my pawns back. So now material is equal, which is unusual. Usually white's sacking a pawn. And white's a little bit better here. Black's king is a bit suspicious. Black has 2 isolated pawns. But black has 2 bishops. Okay, so he played bishop e6, which is okay. I played queen b5, attacking his b pawn, and he mistakenly defended it. In fact, 2 of his mistakes this game were defending pawns that were attacked when he should have been developing quickly. So he needs to get things going here, but he played rook b8, which is just too passive. And I played knight e4, because I want to play bishop g5, which is crushing. So he played f6, never play f6. Stopping bishop g5. Actually, f6 is the computer move. Queen h5, because I want to get up in his grill on h6. I got my bishop. Whoa. I got my bishop coming here. I got my queen. I got all my pieces on the king side. He played h6, stopping me from going h6. Now, when you play h6 and f6, you weaken g6. So I played knight takes d6, getting rid of his 2 bishops, and then played knight h4. So now the only advantage he had earlier, the only advantage he had earlier was he had the 2 bishops, and now he doesn't. Now he just has a bad king and weak pawns, and computer says white has a great game. Okay, he played queen d3, stopping queen g6 check. I think the engine wants me to play rook to d1 here. I played bishop f4, and again I'm attacking his c pawn, and now he made the move that loses. He doesn't really have time to defend it. He has to, defend his king and get his pieces, in the middle of the board. But he played rook bc8. So rook b8 was a mistake, and rook c8's a mistake, sort of ignoring the rest of the game, but defending. I didn't really want to take his c7 pawn. I just want to protect my rooks and put my rooks in the middle. Okay, now I'm winning. And I played rook e1, attacking his bishop. He played knight d8. He has a lot of problems here. I'm going to play rook e3 and do a rover. And I'm going to take his bishop, and my other rook's coming out, and his pawn structure is no good. His king is open. My king's really safe, so he's just losing here. After knight d8, everything wins. Rook a d8. It was a tough decision, actually, because I thought everything won. I took the bishop. It doesn't really matter what I do. Rook a d1 also wins. And now he doesn't really have anything. If he plays king h7, obviously I checkmate him. Maybe I have another checkmate that I missed. If he plays, actually the engine does play queen takes, and then I'm up a queen for a rook. That's the engine variation. King g8 is terrible because I do this, and yeah, terrible. Okay, and maybe I have better. Probably I do. Okay, so you play king f8, which I expected, and I check. He doesn't really have many legal moves. And my queen and knight just made him. Threatening queen e7 mate. And queen takes e6 check. And okay. Played till mate. That's fine. And mate. Luckily I mated him, or he would have mated me. No, what a world. Okay, that was my first game. We're going to look at all 6 games today. So it's going to be like a 45-minute video. So if you want to go get a snack now or go to the bathroom, pause, and I'll wait. Oh, you're back? Okay. Okay, so let's go to the next game. Not that I know how to do that, because I'm smart. Not too smart. Let's see, how do you go to the next game? I don't know. Let's go here, and let's do it this way. And then it spins forever. Wow, can you see it spinning? I don't know why it's spinning. Okay, it's ridiculous. All right, and then board, and then, no, I don't want board sounds. Well, I want view, okay. Okay, and I have black. You can see I don't edit these videos. I've never edited the videos because I let my son do that. If you want high quality, wait for Karen's videos. This is the lowest quality. Flip board. Okay, I flipped the board. Okay, so I'm playing somebody. I don't know. I'm playing Daniel Marmer. He had a cap on that said Hilton Head, so I don't know if he lives in South Carolina or here, probably here. Okay, he didn't play very well. He was 1,700. My opponents went up 200 points every round. I played a 1,500, then a 1,700, then 1,900, so forth. He played like me, B3, so you know he's not playing too well. Okay, he played F4, and he made his first mistake here. E4 is not really a good move. He should just play knight F3 and develop his pieces. Now his pawn is attacked. He played D3. Computer already says black has an advantage here. And I played E5. He should probably take. And then I played knight G4. And again, black is better. He played knight E2. Computer doesn't really like what I did, but I was winning in about 4 moves. So I wanted to punish, his indolence, or is it insolence? I guess it's both in this instance. You guys don't know what either one of those words means, so why am I even talking to you guys? Horrible. Okay, so knight G4, threatening knight E3, and he played knight F3, so his queen could move once I play knight E3. This is actually really funny. So I took, threatening his bishop on B2 by discovery, so he trades, and he takes his pawn back. And I play knight E3, attacking his queen. And the idea basically is I want to play queen F6, attacking his knight and his rook. So, well, his rook's not attacked because his queen's defending it. After knight E3, his rook's attacked. And this is actually funny because after the move queen C1, queen F6, the engine gives a move I never, ever, ever, ever considered. But I guess that's because I'm not good. King F2. Wow. I didn't see King F2, I must admit. So this gets rid of the tricks that I have. And it attacks my knight. And if my knight takes his bishop, his queen's defending his knight. Man, King F2, I never thought of that. That's crazy. Okay, so why can't I play knight takes pawn here? Hope I have the right position and I'm not confusing myself. Well, let's see. Let's turn an engine on and find out because I'm very confused. Knight takes C2 is no good. You guys probably can't even see the engine. No, knight C2 is good. So do I have the wrong? I must have the wrong position. Okay. Hey, I was actually right about something. He's supposed to play King F2 at some point, but that doesn't make any sense because it's illegal to play King F2 before that. Man, am I confused. I mean, that was his last chance to play King F2. What? That was his only legal opportunity to play King F2. Okay, so I don't know. Yeah. Very suspicious. I'm better than I thought I was. Okay, so he played a bad move here, although he's already in a lot of trouble. Played knight E2. And it's funny, this has actually happened in more than one game. It wasn't my game, but I know other masters who have fallen for this. They play a trick, and I have a good trick here. It doesn't work because I'm in check. And actually, I thought I could do it like 3 moves ago, and then I realized as I was doing it that I couldn't. Otherwise, I would have lost this game, which would have been funny. It looks like I can take, and then play knight takes pawn, knight takes C2 check. But as you'll note, the computer won't let me. It puts the knight back. Because I'm in check, which is very funny. And that has actually happened to a couple of friends of mine. They played a trick like that, but they were in check, so they lost. Okay, so I just play other way around. That's actually something I teach. I hate to teach you guys in the videos. I'm trying to trash talk and be crazy and show you my games, but I can teach a little bit too. When you have a tactic, looks like you have a tactic, and the tactic doesn't work, often reversing the first 2 moves of the tactic makes it work, which is the case here. Knight takes C2 check. That actually works. And here my opponent didn't defend very well. He played King D2, which I don't think is a good square for the king. And he played King E3, which really surprised me. And then D4 is not good either. And okay, now I'm like plus 15 or something. Actually, this is very funny. I played 2 really good moves here, which is funny considering how quickly I was playing. I probably used like 8 minutes this game. But, I mean, nobody would care because every move wins. Like, everything's plus 10. But I played like the 2 best moves, like the next 2 moves. I think you'd be hard-pressed to find the right move here, like anybody watching this. And it's actually the best move by far. So pause your video. What's the best move for black? Very stupid question since every move is like plus 10. So it's the kind of questions I ask. The answer is bishop d3. So the main idea is I want to unleash my rook on the f file. My bishop on f5 is blocking my rook. And also I'm threatening rook f5 and your queen's trapped, which is funny, unless you're white. And I'm attacking your e2 knight because your bishop on f1 is pinned. So bishop d3 is just lights out. And here, I knew knight g3 hung mate, so he played knight g3. I have mate in 2 here. See if you can find it. Pause your video again. Mate in 2. There's only one answer. I'll wait. Pause. Okay, we're back, and about half of you found it, half of you didn't. I'm pretty sure, and maybe I'll see the guy later and I'll ask him. I think when I played this move, he thought he was in checkmate, even though he's not, because of the way the game ended. When I played there, he immediately put his hand out, and I think he thought it was mate, maybe. Anyway, he resigned. Even if he thought it was mate, he still resigned. He could play king g1, of course, and then this is mate. And maybe he saw that and just resigned, I don't know. So queen e1 and the knight's pinned. So that was my easiest game because it didn't take very long and I was taking a lot of stuff and my position looks pretty good. Okay, so I'm better than most 1700s. We've proven it with using some kind of logic. It's not too logical though. Okay, next game. And again, I'm not doing this right, but it is spinning a lot, so you can't beat that. Okay, I'm playing Samarth Belayaru. I had to win this game twice, which is unfortunately something that I often do. No, not board sounds. Yeah. It's a good thing you can't see what I'm doing here, so I'm clicking everything. Okay, so I'm playing a kid. I guess he's 11 or 12 based on looking at him. If you're watching this video and you're 14, I'm sorry, but you're not 14. He's between 9 and 13, and if I had to guess, I would say 11, and he's like 1900 something. So he's going to be a master shortly. I'm white in my favorite, Nimzo-Indian, queen c2. You guys know the drill. Okay, he castled. I've played e4 here and knight f3 and bishop g5. I just sort of randomly play them. I decided to play knight f3. Most of my opponents play c5 here. He played d5, which is fine. And yeah, now he made some bad choices. H6 is what the Super GMs do. In fact, Carlson beat Wesley So with black here either this year or last year. I don't know if it was a rapid game or a slow game. Probably rapid. With H6. He played bishop g4, which is a mistake because you're weakening your b7 pawn. And whenever you move your bishop away from b7, you have to watch that. And because queen b3 is also attacking the d pawn, bishop g4 is not a good move. And after knight e5, he has to play bishop e6. That way he defends his d pawn. But he played bishop h5. Yeah, and now it's very hard for black to develop. Knight c6 ruins his pawn structure because I take it. And if you play knight b to d7, I can take that also. I don't have to. And then take your knight on f6 and destroy your pawn structure that way. So, yeah, it's already very bad for black. He played bishop g6, which was the point of this maneuver, to try to trade off his bishop. And I could take his bishop and I'm better, but queen b3 is a better move. And now he thought a really long time. Wow, he thought 15 minutes maybe. He actually played the move I expected. It's not easy to play here because your bishop's hanging, your d pawn's hanging, your b pawn's hanging. It's all hanging. So he played queen d6. The problem with queen d6 is now his queen's overworked. It's defending his bishop and his knight. So I take his knight. Obviously, he can't play queen takes bishop because I take his other bishop. Very good for white, winning a piece. If he takes on c3 first, I could just take with the b pawn and then take on b7. So he just played gf, which is what I expected. And I played knight d3, and okay. Normally in this pawn structure, in some kind of Queen's Gambit declined exchange variation, this pawn structure can happen, but that's only if white exchanges queens. And in the endgame, probably isn't so horrible because black has 2 bishops, but black's not going to have 2 bishops in this variation, and the queens are on. So it's all worse. His king is more exposed. He's going to lose one of his bishops for my knight. He decided his dark squared bishop, which I think is the right decision. If he plays bishop takes d3, his king has nothing in front of it. So I agree with this decision. And white's much better, like 0.6, 0.7, because I have a much better pawn structure. Okay, nothing happened for a long time. It was pretty boring. Nothing exciting here. Okay. And this is a very interesting position because, I mean, I just played knight f4 a couple moves ago because I'm defending my g2 pawn. You know, he decided to use the g file for his own attack. But I don't want to move my knight again. I just moved it. So I don't want to take any of his pieces and straighten his pawns out. But I decided to take on g6, which the computer agrees with. I didn't like the move he played here. He should take with h pawn. Took with f pawn, and then the 7th rank is open to his king, which isn't good. Okay, and I have this, you know, just nice position on the queen side, like Yasser Seirawan kind of dream position. And he just can't do anything. Just isolated d pawn forever. My pawn structure is great. His pawn on b7 is weak. His pawn on d5 is really weak. His king is a little open on the 7th rank. So much better for white. Okay, and in this position, yeah, here. So here I was just playing quickly, and he was playing slowly, so it's way ahead on the clock, 40 minutes. And I just didn't play a4, but I should play a4 every move following my rule. And then it says like plus 1.2 or something. Okay, so I kept not playing a4, and then I played a4, which is good, but I should have played it the last 3 moves. Okay, and this is still really good for white. And this is actually very funny. So I don't know if I made a video. If I did, it was almost a year ago. Almost. I played a player rated 2100, Pratik Mishra. He's like 12 years old, maybe 11. He's a local player. He's actually been in this room, and I've given him lessons, but it was a while ago. And I was squeezing him like I'm squeezing this guy. And then I put my rook into his position, ha. And then he trapped my rook, and I was like, oh no. And I sacrificed the exchange, and it was about equal, and then I won the game again. It turned out when he trapped my rook, it wasn't trapped. I had like a million ways to just play normally and be much better. So this happened again. This is very funny. I played rook c8, because, you know, why not? And rook c8's okay. What I should do is put my queen on the c file, and then play queen c6. And then white's just winning strategically. Everything's hanging. A pawn, d pawn, knight. Yeah, just can't defend everything. So this is, and when he played the move that trapped my rook, I was like, what kind of move is that? Knight c7. Like, that's a strange move. And then, you know, the knight's good on e6. And then I realized my rook's trapped. I did it again. Okay, and of course, and I was thinking, in the other game I was just mentioning, when my rook was trapped, it wasn't really trapped. So I was wondering, is my rook not really trapped again? The answer is it's not. But I couldn't figure out how, and I would never figure out how. The engine figured out how. I'm not even going to ask you guys, because it's way too hard for you. This would be a really good puzzle for somebody like in the top 10 in the world, and I wouldn't expect them to get it. But it's really, I mean, it's a beautiful, really nice. If you're a master and you teach chess, you should show this to your students if, you know, they're reasonable. I would say at least 1600, because this is, to even understand it is very difficult. Okay, so I bailed out into a much better endgame, which I'm just lucky it's much better. It could have been worse, but okay. Maybe I'm not lucky because he has a bad pawn structure, so it was always going to be better for me. But watch what I should have done. I should have played queen c1. I thought moving my queen to the c file like didn't matter. c1, c2, c3. He has to play rook b7, and now he wants to trap my rook. Okay, and the reason you play queen c1 is now you play h5. Okay, and I know you guys are still confused, and you should be. And the idea is, well, let's just make a bad move for him, queen d7, trapping my rook. Now I play h6 check, so my rook can get out, you know, g8 or h8. And after you take, if you take, I play rook g8, and I'm threatening queen h1 check. That's why you play queen c1. And queen h1 check, it just leads to mate, and queen h4 mate. And okay, white's completely winning here. However, I mean, after h5, you're sort of in trouble. And there's even some variations where white can play e4 and get his queen in there. But that's, yeah, so after this, after h5, it says white's still winning. But even if I saw that, I wouldn't do it because my rook's trapped. If I misanalyze, I lose my rook. So that's really hard, but for an engine, it's nothing. Okay, what I did was okay. I just didn't see queen c1, h5, h6, and queen h1. Okay, so I like the way queen c1 with the idea of queen h1 later. All right, so I played queen c2, attacking his knight, and he defended it, and I played queen c5. I saw I could play queen a4, which prevents queen d7, but then I didn't see what to do. Like, what's my plan? And the computer says this is good for white also. Move my bishop around in the circle and put it asleep. Okay, queen c5 is the best move. You can't play queen d7 now to trap my rook because I got you. Checkmate. Okay, so he has to trade queens. And, I mean, when he played knight c7, I had a long think, and I saw this position. I'm like, okay, white's much better. But it could have been that white's not much better, and then I would have had to do it anyway, because I've never seen queen c1 and h5. So very, fortuitous. Okay, and now he didn't play well. The changing circumstances. I think he was really happy after knight c7, and he wasn't so happy here. Played a5, which is probably a mistake. He should probably move his king over. Rook d8's a mild mistake. I should play c6. It's more accurate. And he made another mistake. King f6. And after rook d7, he's just lost. Everything's pinned and attacked. And he made another mistake. He was in time trouble here. And it just lets me play c6. So that's, I mean, it doesn't matter. He's losing anyway, but now he's really losing. And he was like 11 years old, I'm guessing. So he was told by somebody, possibly me, maybe he watches my videos, don't resign. And my first opponent also didn't resign. So I had a couple of checkmates this tournament. I got to meet some people. Okay, and he could resign here safely, but he didn't. Played on, threatening rook f7 mate. And he could resign here, but instead he played till checkmate, which is fine. We're playing pretty fast. You guys will like my next move. What did I do here? Guess. You guys guess. Now, I'm assuming that Nakamura is not watching this video, so don't guess d8 equals knight. Yeah, I play king d6, because you want to keep the black king from escaping. You can queen when you feel like it. And I felt like it now. And here I have a lot of mates. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 4? Yeah. You guys don't see 4, that's for sure. There's no way you see 4. I'm trying to find more than 4, but I can't. And then if there's 5, it's really embarrassing. Pretty sure there's just 4. Okay, I played the one you probably don't see, bishop b5. And I think queen a8, queen b7, queen b6 are the other ones. Hope that's it. Well, you guys will tell me if it's not. Okay, that was that game. And there's a lot of rounds this tournament. I actually played 4 rounds on Saturday yesterday. Okay, this is against Deepak Aaron. As you can see, I've totally messed everything up. View, notation, and flipboard. Okay, I didn't mess it totally up, but mostly. Why can't I flip board? I'm too stupid. Yeah, okay. So I'm black against Deepak Aaron. He's a senior master. And we both had a perfect score. Is that right? Yeah, that's right. We're on board 1. Okay. And he's a very sharp player, so I want to play really boring and make him overextend. And I played the French Fort Knox, which I do occasionally, which is bishop d7. So this is funny, like before the game I was like, well, this is the 4th game of the day, I'm black, he's a good player, I'll offer a draw and I'll go home. He might not take it, but he might. And I never thought my position was good enough to offer a draw. I was like, he's definitely not going to take a draw, my game's terrible. And then when it was good enough, I liked my position, so I wasn't offering a draw anymore. So it's pretty funny. Okay, so this is the Fort Knox. And here, knight gf6 is the main line, and somehow I got scared. I don't know why. I've probably had this position too. But I took, which is okay, but knight gf6 is better. Okay, and then here I made a totally crazy move. I should just play bishop e7 or bishop d6 or queen c7, some normal move. But I played g6 because I like the variations where they play g6 and fianchetto the bishop. But actually, as I realized later, you should only do that after they've castled kingside. Because then the bishop on g7 is fine. But he hasn't castled kingside yet, and he's probably not going to since he keeps delaying it and delaying it. Castles queenside. And the problem is, when they castle queenside, here comes Harry and Gary and whoever else Simon named, and he's right. Yeah, there comes Harry. And I thought a while here, and I'm like, oh, I don't like this. I don't want to castle kingside or queenside or keep my king in the center. So I already hated my position, and I was right. This position's not very good. So I played queen e7, so I wasn't sure which side I would castle on, and I wanted to play c5 and open up my bishop on the diagonal by moving my arms a lot. And I don't want my queen on d8 when I play c5 because I'm opening up the d file. And he played a3, so he could play bishop to b4. Makes sense. c5. And if I take back now, he can play bishop b5 check, which is pretty annoying. So I castled. And here I think black is okay, actually. I think my queen e7, c5 castles was good, and probably a3 was not correct. Okay, again, Deepak likes to crush his opponent, and he doesn't care who he's playing, and that's the right attitude. A lot of players, his rating, when they're playing me or somebody higher than me, like, yay, I drew. Deepak's not like that. He wants to win. So he plays h5, and I thought a long time, and I played the right move. And he thought a long time, and he sacrificed the exchange, which is not correct. And I thought a long time here again, because, he's got bishop h7, and queen takes h5, and rook h1. Played h6, which is the right move. And I was sure he would do something crazy, like queen h5, or rook h1, or bishop h7, or knight h7. I was getting scared. And I calculated it was all good for me, and the engine agrees, and he agreed. And he very quickly played knight e4. I was like, what? You're sacking the exchange and you're retreating and not attacking me? So I was confused. And knight e4 is the best move. He was like, oh yeah, that stuff doesn't work. And I'm like, well, you sacked all your pieces. So I'm much better here, but I don't know if I'm winning. But I have an exchange. Okay, I played f5, kicking him out some more. Knight c5. And the computer says these moves are all reasonable. And here I thought he'd play queen g3. I didn't see queen e3, which is better. And the idea is, if it was his move, he could take on g7. If I take it with the king, he has queen h6. If I take it with the queen, he has queen e6 check. So I played e5, which is the best move. And now if he takes, I'll take it with the queen. So he played rook e1, which I also didn't see. I like the fact that his bishop was pinned. So what I mean by pinned is if he moves his bishop, I can trade rooks. The more pieces we trade, the less attack he has. And the only way he's going to not lose is if he attacks me, because I'm up the exchange for no pawns. But he played rook e1, which I also didn't see. And now he can play bishop c3 next move, or bishop b4. The reason bishop b4 doesn't work here, skewering my queen and rook, is I check, and now I can check him with my queen or my rook and escape the skewer. So, but now, rook e1, he's putting pressure on e5. He's going to play bishop c3 or bishop b4. And we're getting into time trouble here. Pretty annoying. I play queen f7, which the computer doesn't like. What does it play here? I think it plays rook fe8, which I thought about. Okay, I play queen f7. He took on a7. And now I was pretty proud of myself because this is a very hard position. There's a lot of moves that look reasonable, and I chose the #1 computer move. I wasn't even cheating. I played rook d5 because I thought I have rooks, and a rook is better than a bishop because your rook is active. So I need to activate my rooks. And my rook on f8 is not really active, it's just defending. So we got to double the rooks up and get my rooks going. And I defend e5 a little also. Okay. And now I hallucinated, but the computer says I played right. So in this position, he played bishop c3, and I thought this was just winning queen g5. Because, and queen g5 is the best move. And the idea is, okay, well, first of all, he can't take on e5 because I take. Wait, that's not why. I'm sorry, because whoa, sorry about that. Because I play queen takes e3. Yeah. And now, if he takes with the pawn, I win his bishop. And if he takes with the rook, then I made him. Yeah. Okay. So he can't take the pawn. And then I'm up the exchange for a pawn here, so good winning chances. So he took my queen, and then I thought he couldn't take on e5, so I should win. He can't take with the rook, obviously, rook d1 mate. And then he played there, and I was like, oh yeah, that's right. I thought rook e8 was winning when I played queen g5, but he plays bishop c3, which I didn't see. So that's funny. Okay, and then I still played rook e8, and it's the best move. And actually, black is better here, which neither one of us realized. And here, I made a bad move, and I kept playing bad moves after. We're terrible time trouble here, and there's no second time control. I should play rook h4 and put my rook over here, and I have good winning chances. The computer says like I'm +1. I think it's a draw with best play, but if I win one of those kingside pawns, I think I should win. I played f4, which is a mistake, and now I played a really bad move. I'm still better here, and I just have to keep my rook on the d file so his king can't go to the king side. And then if I ever attack his g2 pawn with, let's say, rook h7, rook h7, rook h2, I mean, what does he do? I mean, his pawns are all attacked. And my king can walk up, and so forth. So big advantage to black if I just keep my rook on the d file. And I had, like, I don't know, a minute left or 2 minutes. I played here. Yeah, that's a terrible move. I was going to play rook e2, and I figured if he stopped me, I would, like with king d2, I would move my pawns up and play rook e2. But that's just hopeless. After rook e2, he plays bishop to d4. What I need to do is get my rook on the other side on h2. Okay. Also, I need my rook on the d file so his king can't come over. So rook e4 is the worst move I played in the game for sure. And then after here, like white's better. When I say white's better, the engine says all zeros, but white's playing for the win. Okay, and then he played g3, which is a good move. f3's pushing it. And I don't know what happened here. We played about 20 more moves. We both had a couple minutes left. And eventually, he got his bishop to b6, and his pawns got here, and my rook was here, and we moved around forever doing nothing. He never played c5, he never played a6, and we kept moving around and around and around and around, and we did that for like 20, 30 moves, and we agreed to a draw. He was trying to press and win, but he was taking time doing it, and at some point, I went from 2 minutes behind to like ahead on the clock, and he didn't want to risk losing. And the computer says everything's all zeros, and it's always a draw, and I set up some positions later where white was trying to win, and said, no, all zeros. So I guess it was a draw for the last 20 or 30 moves with proper play, but you know, we didn't know that. Okay, so that was my draw with Deepak, 4 games in one day. The first 2 games were game 45. The next 2 games were game 60. And now round 5, my next game, I was playing a 2100 who tied for first with me eventually from Texas, it said. And I had the white pieces. Zichen Liu. And he won the last round against Vedic Panda, who's 2200. So he tied for first with me and Zapad and a couple of A players. Okay, this was played this morning. He played the Slav. I thought a long time and decided to play e3. I don't know why. I play everything. So. Played e6. And already I didn't know anything. So I just tried to get out of his preparation because he's a kid. He's playing fast. Seemed to me like he was about 16 years old if I had to guess. Queen e7's not a very common move. I would say it's a mistake even. The only good player, when I say good, I mean really good, to play Queen e7 is Alexei Shirov, and he lost to Wesley So when he played it. I think the game was like 3 years ago. Well, black wants to play e5, so knight e5. And this is actually how a lot of games went in this line, and everybody plays knight d7, and white has a pretty good score. And he played knight e4, which has been played like 3 times, and white won all the games. Players weren't very good. And everybody castled here, and castles is fine. And eventually I'm going to win his e4 pawn, and he'll be down a pawn trying to draw, sort of like in the game here. I play queen g4, winning the pawn immediately. If he attacks my knight with like queen d7 or queen d8, I can just castle queenside, or play rook d1. So he took, and I didn't really mind if my king was in the center, because I'm going to take either his g pawn or his e pawn. He castled, which is correct. It's funny, if he checked me, I was actually going to play king c2 instead of somewhere else. And the idea was, now I'm threatening rook d1, winning his queen, and queen takes g7. So I think queen d3 is just a mistake, which means that queen d8 is a mistake. So anyway, he castled. Okay, and I took my pawn. Yeah, I'm up a pawn. Everybody else who won that pawn, they castled. Not me. My king is running around. Okay, and the engine wants me to put my king on the king side, king e2 and rook h d1, but I decided to put it on the queen side, which is not a good decision. But I'm pawn up and I'm better, so that's good. It's good to be better. In fact, in this position, the engine already says I gave most of my advantage away. It wants to play b5, and it says black's fine. I'm not sure if I agree with that. Okay. These moves are all okay. b5 makes sense. Yeah. Okay. And this is all reasonable. Nothing. Moves are all good. Computer likes them all. And here I don't like what he did. He needs to keep pieces on, so my king is a little exposed. He played here. Now I made probably a minor mistake. I should probably play queen c3, which was my original intention. And then I thought he'd move his queen away, and we would keep playing. But after this, I knew we had to trade queens. I like that better because I thought my king was a little exposed, and if I'm pawn up in an ending against a kid that's boring, I should win. And I was playing the opponent here a little bit. When I play somebody who's between like 2,000 and 2,300 and they're really young, I try to play no theory, really boring, trade, slightly better, and hope that they don't play well. And even if my moves aren't the best, as long as I don't get made and there's no tactics, I figured that was the safest. Okay, so we trade queens, and c4 is a good move, trading off more pawns. And yeah, I thought if two supercomputers or super GMs were playing, this would be a draw. I didn't really see a good winning plan. And the engine says white's ahead like 0.6 or something, I don't know. I'm up a doubled pawn, but what's the winning plan? What do I do? Unclear. And from here on in, he played badly, which I guess was the plan when I'm playing with somebody under 18, is they don't play the endgame well. This move was shocking. I really was surprised. Never in my life would I consider this move. It's probably not as bad as I'm saying it is, but it's pretty bad. He played f5. I was almost like fell out of my chair because it's very hard for white to do anything, and now I just have a passed pawn. And in fact, taking en passant order the regular way, they're both really good. Okay, I couldn't help myself, get a passed pawn. My pawns are all hanging on the king's side, and I want to play rook d7 and bishop c3. Rawr. So I got my pawns away from the attack. And h6 isn't a good move. Bishop b5 is not a good move. And after e6, he's just lost. And he told me after the game he just totally missed rook d6. Like, he saw all this, and he thought he was fine here, and he didn't see rook d6. And now he thought he was completely lost, and he's correct. Yeah, now my king just walks in, and I have an extra pawn, and it's passed. And his g7 pawn's weak because I have bishop c3. Okay, so he played g6, which isn't good, and I trapped his rook. Now his rook can never get out, and I just walk my king up. King c3, king d4, king e5, unstoppable. So he decided to end the game quicker than that. But yeah, f5 was a pretty bad move. He played bishop a6. I guess you want to play bishop c8. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay, so I took, oops, easy win. He blundered, but it doesn't matter here. He played this, and he missed that I could check him, and then I queen. So e7, e8. So that game ended pretty quickly from like a position where I was like a little bit better, and I was trading, so I wouldn't miss any tactics, keeping a small or a clear advantage, hoping that his age would make him not play the endgame well, and I was successful. Also, I'm playing 6 slow-rated games in 2 days, so I'm not going to play well. I'm old. Now, speaking of old, my next round opponent was older than me, if that's possible. I'm pushing all the wrong buttons, which is very funny for you guys. Okay, and this game was very, very, very short, as you can see. As Kasparov would say, I'm playing short, and the match is short. You guys are old enough to get that joke, but it's a true story. Okay, I'm black against Zapata in the last round. So let me set the scene. I have 4.5 out of 5, which you should know. Zapata has 4.5 out of 5. He drew Vedic Panda and had 3.5 out of 4. And then Panda's 2200 player. And then he beat Deepak the last round. So we both had 4.5 out of 5. And Vedic Panda, who drew Zapata in round 4, also has 4.5 out of 5. He's playing Zichen Liu, the guy that I just beat. And Zichen Liu has 4. So if Zapata and I draw quickly, and Vedic Panda wins, he's playing a low-rated player. He would clear first. Okay, so I'm black and French. I played my Fort Knox again. The last time I played Zapata was 3 or 4 weeks ago. We played a really sharp Sicilian and castled opposite sides, and then I offered a draw and he took it, which I was shocked because I'm black and we were playing really sharp. And he was like, eh. Okay, so I played the Fort Knox, which I play a lot, and I played knight gf6 and offered a draw. This is actually a key position. White has a lot of different moves here. White can play knight de2, knight g5, or knight g3, and they're all different and interesting. Knight e g5 is pretty aggressive. That's tough to me because he's probably going to sack a piece. Anyway, and he thought a while and he said, yeah, I'm an old man. And I'm thinking, that's my line. But he is older than me. I think he's 58. So I couldn't argue with him. And luckily for us, I guess, the turn was over. I got to go home. So I was already lucky. And I didn't lose any games somehow. On board 2, Zichen Liu did win. So he tied for first with us. And a couple of A players on boards 3 and 4 were paired down, and they both won. So 5 of us got 5 out of 6, and I won $241. Yay! And I won in tie breaks. Ooh. Probably a lot of you were expecting me to talk about my match with Ginger. We'll talk about it now. You waited this long. Oh, he took my draw here, so this video's over. Yeah, I mean, a lot of that was fluff, obviously. We don't really hate each other, man each other at all, but we like to make money. So I think I was kidding at the beginning. Then the mood all changed. Oh, wait, that's it. Don't sue me, Eminem. And then he got pretty mad, and then he was like, "Rawr!" And then he realized like that he probably shouldn't have done that. Yeah. And then, then we hyped up the match a little bit for your benefit. A lot of the things written about the match were weird. There was a lot written that the match was really badly played. I mean, we were playing for the spectators, so a lot of it was silly. We're playing h4 and h5. You guys like that. I drew a lot of worse and lost endgames. Very few time forfeits. I mean, we played like 26 or 27 games of Blitz and Bullet. I think like there were like 2 time forfeits or something. So our speed of play was good. We had a lot of tricky games. We had a lot of interesting games. There were very few draws. We were talking nonstop. It was very exhausting, talking nonstop while you're playing chess. I can do that for a game or two, but for 27 games, wow, that was not easy. It was 26 games. I think it was 26 games. So that was a very difficult match for both of us because we had to, hate each other and play chess and play blitz chess and bullet, and it's basically just too long. I mean, I don't want to complain about the format, but 3.5 hours of blitz chess and bullet is just way too much. I mean, that's a lot of chess games. In real life, it's not that bad, but you're really focused, on the cameras watching you, and you're talking nonstop, and you're clicking, and you're making sure you're not doing any like misclicks, and you're looking at the time. And playing in real life is a lot easier, and I'm sure I play a lot better in real life because online I just play terribly. So I thought the match was pretty interesting. Most people liked it. There's always the haters. There's more haters than usual because it's a trash-talking match. So players and the people making the match are haters too. So anyway, it was a good experience. I won a lot of money, so I'm happy. I got $2,500 for winning the match. I won the trash-talking because of you guys. I won $300 extra. Eventually, I'll get paid. Probably in about 3 weeks. Pay at the end of the month, the beginning of the month, something. It goes to my wife's account. Anyway, so that was an interesting thing. The chess center is going well. We have 116 members. I think our channel will be up probably in about a week, I'm guessing. And then the videos will be coming along quickly once 1 or 2 are up. But at the beginning, there's a lot of editing and learning. My wife's learning how to do the editing and the music and the this goes to that and making sure that everything's right. And when I make the videos here, as you can see, I don't do anything. I push record and I put on YouTube. And then you guys are like, what is all this nonsense? And she doesn't like any of that nonsense. She actually makes it look good. Well, this is my longest video I've ever made on this channel. It's 50 minutes plus. Today I was looking at all the videos I made in order of how much they were watched. Magnus Carlsen, where I lost to him, has 33,000 views. My next video was with Mamedyarov, the game that I won, which was 15,000 views. So the Magnus video has more than twice as many views as my next one, which is shocking because I thought Mamedyarov, that would be good, but I guess not. You guys want more. Okay, also to let you know, on October 28th, we're going to have a team here in Atlanta that's going to play at my chess center. We're going to try to qualify for the Pro Chess League. The guy who lost to Carlsen a few days ago, Busenov, he's our board 1. He's going to be our free agent playing from Soviet Russia. Then I'm board 2. Daniel Gurevich is board 3, and Ben Moon is board 4. It's all about the Benjamins. So if we qualify the 28th, we'll have a Pro Chess League team in Atlanta. If we don't, then we won't. And they'll be playing for my chess center, except for Busenov. All right. I'm probably not going to make a video for this channel for a while. So when I do, though, I'll let you know about the chess center videos coming up. I'll definitely make a 2 or 3 minute video here explaining, what the URL is and our chess center and all that stuff. And you can see high quality videos because my wife is in charge of the quality at the chess center. All right. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to donate because, yeah. And keep up the good work. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like and subscribe here. We're going to have 10,000 subscribers soon. We have about 9,800 now, probably in 2 or 3 weeks. And I'll make a special 10,000 subscriber video because you guys deserve it. Give yourselves a hand. Yeah, here you go. There's a hand. Okay, see you guys next time. Half point and full point bye.